Ever since 2024 started, I have been on a major thriller kick. I just want to jump into books that are mind bending, twisted, scary, and like books that just keep me at the edge of my seat. And so, I decided to pick up five of the most popular thrillers of 2023, the ones which are supposed to have the most crazy plot twists ever, to see if I like them or not. Let's see what happens. The first book that I picked up was a Riley Sager book. Now, I've heard such mixed reviews about this author. Some people absolutely love his writing, but some people detest it. And this is the only book which has a pretty good rating on Goodreads, so I'm excited to give it a try. So I'm on chapter 4 of The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I finished the first 3 chapters, and so far there seems to be like this gothic haunted house situation that seems to be going on. His writing style is very, very easy to understand. It's very simply written. I'm liking it. So far, it's quite interesting. This book follows our main character, Kit, who is a caregiver. Now, she has been tasked to take care of Lenora Hope, this elusive person who is suspected to have murdered her entire family. All hell breaks loose when Lenora finally starts opening up to Kit to tell her exactly what happened the night of the murders. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. A major plot twist has just been revealed. I kind of guessed that something like this was going on. Maybe. Riley Sager is known to like have a whole bunch of plot twists in his book. There have been like minor ones here and there scattered throughout this book, but like this I think is the major reveal. There can't be like a bigger plot twist than this. Hi guys. Okay, so it is the next day, and I finished reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager yesterday. But then I had to go out in the evening, like at night, so I couldn't vlog. But oh my god, this book had so many plot twists. Like, I did not think that it would have that many plot twists, but it did. And even though like I had guessed a few of them, this book still managed to kind of blow my mind. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The only thing is, the ending of this book was just a little bit dramatic and like over the top. I wish that hadn't happened, but yeah, still, overall, a really, really good book. Recommended if you like thrillers with crazy plot twists. Check it out if you haven't. The next book that I picked up was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This book follows two complete strangers, Alex and Josie, who are birthday twins. They meet by chance on their 45th birthday, and both women are just completely different from each other. Alex has a wonderful life and she runs a successful podcast, whereas Josie's life is just a bit meh. Things start to take a sinister turn when Josie becomes the subject of Alex's next podcast, and some really disturbing revelations are made. I'm on page 148 right now. I literally woke up this morning and read for 2 hours straight because I can't put this book down. But now I have to because it's 10:30 and I need to start work. But oh my god, I can't put this book down. It's so addictive. This book has Alex and Josie's events happening. Like, one part of the book is that. The other part is in the form of a Netflix documentary that is getting made about the horrific events that are going to unfold, I think, in this book. And I love when books are structured like that. There have been a few other books which have been structured in like different ways. For example, Daisy Jones and the Six was in the form of like a documentary. interview style thing. There was Sadie, which was in the form of a podcast. So I love when the narrative structure in books is like in the form of different media. And that is what I'm really enjoying about this book. I don't want to put this book down, but I have to because I'm an adult and I need to work. So I'm going to very reluctantly put this book down and get started with my workday. What the hell did I just read? This has to be one of the most twisted, dark, and just like one of those thrillers that makes you feel so uneasy as you're reading it. But it's that feeling of uneasiness, that feeling that something terrible is going to happen, that just makes you want to keep reading. I am not kidding. This book is addictive, it is gripping. Like, I had an entire work day today, but I spent every spare minute I had reading this book. Like, I could not put it down because there is this constant feeling of uneasiness and dread, and like, you know, that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something horrible is going to happen, something really terrible is going to happen, and then it does, and then you're just like, what the f. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book. Like, after a really long time, I've read a thriller which just made me feel on edge while reading it throughout. Is this book about Ted Bundy? Okay, so the victims' names have been changed here and there, but yes, this is definitely about the Ted Bundy serial killing case. So that's interesting. Um, let's see what new take this book gives on something that's been covered a lot. Okay, I'm on page 319. I only have like this much left in the book, but I have to sit down and talk about this book because I have so many thoughts and feelings. Firstly, this book is 100% about the Ted Bundy case, and it's kind of like a true crime book more than a thriller. And secondly, I absolutely love what the author has done. Now, a few years ago, there was a movie that released about Ted Bundy, which was called Extremely Shocking, Extremely Shocking, Diabolical, Evil, and Vile, something like that. I'll put the poster of the movie up here because I know I'm butchering the name. But basically, it starred Zac Efron in it as Ted Bundy. And that movie received a lot of criticism because people said that the movie glorified Ted Bundy a lot and it didn't really give enough importance to the victims. This book, I feel, finally gives a voice to the victims, to those beautiful women, to those wonderful, smart, intelligent, amazing women whose life Ted Bundy cut short. He is made out to be this extremely intelligent, charming, charismatic young man who sort of, you know, like dazzled the women that he killed. And because of his charisma and because of his charm, he lured them in. And that was how he carried out his murders. And even in like in his murder trial, because he sort of defends himself, he becomes his own lawyer. He was painted out to be this extremely intelligent, creative mastermind who dazzled America in the 70s and 80s. What this book says, what this book points out, was that that was far from the truth. He was honestly just like average looking. First of all, he was an ordinary man. He barely made it through law school. Like, he was a law school dropout. So he had average intelligence. He was an ordinary looking young man. And the only reason why he's painted out to be this like genius, charismatic, good looking mastermind was because the police were trying to cover up for their incompetence, like their major incompetence during the whole investigation of his case as well as his arrest. Because this man, Ted Bundy, escaped prison twice. Basically, there was a lot of police incompetence, and the police wanted you to think he was a creative mastermind to hide that incompetence. At the end of his trial, when Ted Bundy has been found guilty by the jury and the judge is convicting him to life in prison and also the death sentence for murdering 30 plus women. The judge very caringly looks at Ted Bundy and calls him a bright young man who has a great future and who could have been an amazing lawyer that he would have loved to see like practice in front of him. But he chose another way. And that other way was killing 30 plus women, by the way. But the way that the judge talks about him is as if Ted Bundy was his equal. Ted Bundy was like another man in the gentleman's club. And not once does he acknowledge the 30 plus women that Ted Bundy slaughtered. And so, what the author has done through the title of this book is say that Ted Bundy wasn't the bright young man, but it was the women, the amazing women whose life he cut short. They're the bright young women. They're the ones who should be remembered, and they are the ones whose voice deserves to, be amplified. All right, I finished reading Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this book 4 out of 5 stars, and the only reason I'm doing that is because while I really enjoyed the story, while I really enjoyed the message of the book, Jessica Knoll's writing style was a little bit tedious. She has a very like convoluted way of writing things, and her sentence structures are like super complex, like unnecessarily complex and unnecessarily convoluted. And that makes reading it a little bit tedious, but still, overall, a great book on an age old case. Okay, the next book that I'm picking up is Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson is the author of one of my favorite mystery books, which is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I haven't finished reading that entire series actually. I should get around to doing that. But I loved the first book, and so I'm very excited to read this because I really like her writing. This book follows 6 friends that are on a road trip across the US. Things take a terrible turn when not only do they get lost, but they are also targeted by an active sniper who is ready to kill, unless they reveal the secret that the shooter wants. Okay, so I'm on page 131 of 5 Survive, and the thing that I'll give this book is that it is very, very fast paced. The way that this book is structured is that each section of the book is like 1 hour of the night. So this book, I think, takes place all in one night. Because of that, I don't know, it just feels very, very fast paced. But that's pretty much the only thing I'm liking about this book. What I'm hating right now are the characters. They are so freaking annoying. Like, all of them. All of them are annoying, but the one that's most annoying is Oliver. The name of the book is 5 Survive, so I'm guessing one of them is going to die. And I know this sounds really horrible, but I hope it's Oliver. I hope it's Oliver who dies, and I hope he dies sometime soon because I can't take his bullshit anymore. Okay, so I finished reading 5 Survive by Holly Jackson, and I didn't like this book at all. Like I mentioned, I did not like the characters one bit. I found all of them annoying, especially Oliver. And then also the main character, Red, I found her like slightly annoying as well. I didn't care about any of the characters. I wasn't afraid for them at all in the book. The only thing that kept me going in this book is that I wanted to figure out what the secret was, like the secret that the sniper was after. I wanted to figure that out. And when that was also revealed, even though it was a major plot twist, It just felt like blah. I was a bit shocked when I read it, but like I just didn't care. And it was probably because I didn't care about the characters at all. Like, just nothing about this book made me feel anything. There wasn't any feeling of uneasiness. There wasn't any feeling of like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Like, I wasn't at the edge of my seat. It was just blah. So, the last book that I picked up for this video is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And I honestly have really mixed feelings about this book. So when I went on Goodreads to check this book out, there were so many 5-star reviews. So many people had given it 5 out of 5 stars, saying that they loved the book. It has a mind-blowing, like crazy plot twist at the end. I think it also won the Goodreads award for like best thriller. So I was really, really excited to read it. But I honestly didn't enjoy it that much. Again, it's written in a very like gripping way. So it's like you know something bad is gonna happen. You know that like you have that like uneasiness again when you're reading it, similar to what I had when I was reading None of This Is True, but like not to that intensity because I don't think the writing is as good as that. Also, the way that this author writes things is that she omits backstories of characters. She omits information on purpose. So it's like you want to figure out what the secrets are that these characters are hiding. So that's why also you feel like reading more. But the thing that I didn't enjoy about this book was just the way the characters are developed. I feel the characters are so poorly developed, again, because the author uses the trope of withdrawing, like sorry, not withdrawing, withholding information from the reader. So, because she withholds so much information about the character, like you don't understand their motivations clearly. You don't understand, like, I didn't understand any of these characters and why they were doing the things they were doing. Like, no insight is given. Secondly, the characters are all so unlikable. Again, it's just like similar to Five Survive. I didn't care what was happening to the characters. Like when the bad stuff starts happening, I'm just like, huh, theek hai, like whatever. I don't care. I also hated the way that this book just like pits women against each other. The plot was okay, but I kind of guessed the plot twist. I feel like after you read a lot of thrillers, you become better at guessing plot twists, and I guessed it like right away that this is probably what's going to happen. So, yeah, like nothing about this book was shocking, nothing about this book was surprising, and I didn't like the characters. I don't know why it's the best thriller of the year. I don't know why so many people like it. If you read this book and you love it so much, please let me know down in the comments what you liked about this book because it just didn't work for me. I don't know. So, yes, that was me reading the most twisted thrillers of 2023. Some of the books I read in this video were amazing, but some of them were kind of blah. But nevertheless, I really enjoyed making it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.